Hello and welcome to the next video of this book, Frameworks Volume 3, Jesus by Paul Blackham. Jesus, thinking about who he is and all the things that he does and promises. And we're on day 4, creation. Creation. Now Jesus has done many amazing and wonderful things to show off his wonderful character, his strength and his might, his humility, his kindness towards others. But one of the things the Bible goes back to again and again is the act of creation. That Jesus made everything and it was made for him. We'll come back to that later. And Jesus' relationship with creation is not simply that of someone who lives in the world. My relationship with creation is I'm just a part of it. I live in it. And I have to, I'm subjected to it, and I have to play by the rules of creation. But Jesus' relationship with creation is different. We see it in the few years, well, we see it all over the place, but we can home in on those few years that Jesus spent on earth when he first took on human flesh. As he comes down as a baby, as he grows, and as he lives, and then as he ministers, and as he teaches of who the Father is, we see that he is no mere creature, but he has mastery over creation. It is as if when he speaks, creation obeys him as a subject obeys its master and Lord. Think about the things that Jesus does. The weather obeys him. He speaks and he withers a tree simply because he tells it to. When he needs money, a fish comes and brings him a coin. A small packed lunch of bread and fish can feed thousands as it multiplies, simply because he wants it to. He turns water effortlessly into the finest wine. Angels serve him. Demons fear him. He can sort out every disease. He knows the thoughts of people and the words they're about to speak before they even are able to utter it. He is able to walk on water. He is able to conquer death. Look at his mastery over all creation. And how does he have mastery? Why does he have this power over the world and the universe? Well, it's because he made it. He is the creator. We see that again and again in the Bible. Verse after verse, where Jesus is referenced and spoken of explicitly as the creator of the world. In John chapter 1, famous passage. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. All things have been made by him and for him. And then at the very end of the Bible, in the book of Revelation, John, the apostle, writes again, and he says, he speaks of Jesus as the ruler of God's creation. Or really that word ruler is the same word as the beginning of God's creation. The one who started it all, the one who gives life to the world in the beginning of God's creation. In Hebrews chapter 1, we read that Jesus is the heir of all things, through whom God the Father made the universe. The universe has been made by Jesus, who is also the heir. All creation belongs to him. Hebrews chapter 3, he is spoken of just as Moses built the first temple, so God is the builder of everything. Jesus is the one who makes. Just as we would build a building, he built the whole universe. In Psalm 102, he's spoken of as the one who laid the foundations of the earth. Again and again and again, the Bible says one of the great acts of Jesus is that he made the world. And one of the challenges that the Bible issues to idols is saying, did you create the earth? Did you make anything? That's kind of Divinity 101. If you want the basic premise for proving your power as a divine being is that you created the world. And the Bible says Jesus has done that. He is the one who made all things. Now, this might be difficult for many people to accept. In our modern Enlightenment thinking, we've done away with Jesus. We've pushed him out the picture. And people have come up with all sorts of theories and ideas as to how the world came into being. Where did it come from? Who made us? Why am I alive? And it seems that the best theory that we can come up with is that we came from nothing. It just happened. There was nothing, and then there was some sort of bang, and then from there, kind of life began, and it spiraled into kind of where we are now. And many would, well, it's laughable, really, isn't it? To look at the world, to look at the creation, say, oh yeah, it just kind of appeared. And yet many would look at the Bible's teaching, would look at the proclamation, the declaration that Jesus is the one who made the world, and they would mock it for how unscientific it is, for the backwards and stupid thinking of these people who knew nothing about the world. On the contrary, to deny Jesus is foolishness of the worst kind. To deny that Jesus is the one who made the world, and to say that somehow, we'll push Jesus out the picture and we won't even put anything in his place, we'll just say that the world kind of appeared, is foolishness. It is not what the Bible teaches us. Jesus is the one who made all things. In Colossians 1, we're told that in Jesus all things were created, things in heaven and on earth. He is before all things. And all things have been created through him and for him. Through him and for him. You see, it's important for us to see that Jesus created the world, because then it makes sense of how he has mastery over the world, but also it makes sense of the purpose for which the world and you and I were created. The world would say, nothing made the world. We just came from nothing, and there was no purpose, there's no reason, there's no rhyme, there's no kind of end goal in mind. We just happened to be, and one day will happen not to be. The Bible says, no, Jesus made the world, and he made the world for him. The Father sends Jesus in the power of the Spirit and says, create this wonderful world, and then I will make you heir of all things. I will give it all to you. And so humans, as part of creation, are made by a loving and a wonderful and a kind God, a powerful God who speaks the world into being and who loves us and who made us for him. That is one of the great acts of Jesus. He is the creator of the world, and all things, you and I included, were made by him, and we were made for him.